Hello guys, it is F1 2019 and Formula Danny here, and today it's a special day as my YouTube gaming career and content creation starts over. This is what I absolutely love to do, but I had a final year at school and in the last 10 months I just simply didn't have the time to live up to the high standards of Mercedes and be well prepared for esports, to study for my advanced graduation exams and to have my Hungarian activities and do English content at the same time, so I couldn't make videos, so sorry for that. But now I am free as I had all my exams and I had my graduation earlier this week, so I want to crack on as soon as possible today. It's the first episode of a series that I hope you will love, which is to sweat against the ultimate AI to build a world champion Formula 1 team to see what I'm capable of doing offline as a pro esports player. I start a career series and it's the first episode of it. Just like Araf, I will only show the highlights of a 50% race weekend, I will use extra HUDs and I will use the TV replays to make my content more exciting for you guys, except that I'm not cutting the corners like the Mustard does. I am a beginner in this, so if you have any advice, feel free to leave it in the comment section, I really do appreciate it. I'm not native in English, as you can hear it, so my commentary may be a fun thing for you, but I hope it only moves the quality to a higher, or at least a funnier level and doesn't pull it back. We are in Melbourne in the practice session, and I didn't want to bore you with the settings, but I will show you in a smaller view the main things that you need to know. Most importantly, I play on 110% AI, so the maximum. The races will be 50% long, and the half the time of the practice sessions will be available, and the normal 18 minutes short qualifying session. I am racing with Alfa Romeo because I love the team, and no matter where I will race at esports, which will be soonly announced, I do not want to play with the top team because I would like to have a challenge to bring a smaller team to the top. I have turned all assists off, but I hope it's obvious for everyone because in esports assists are not even allowed. The weather is dynamic, so nothing should stop us from having a truly exciting season, but now let's move on and speak about the track. Maybe this is the point where my commentary will turn a little bit worse, because so far I read my text to begin the video in a nice style, but now I will only improvise. As you can see, I'm doing the practice programs and I cut all the programs together in one single lap for you to see that I completed them all, but I don't want to waste time in a practice session because the race is long, the qualifying is interesting, and I don't want to make an hour-long video. The track and the car feels right, but it's the first time that I play this game, so I don't know which is the good setting, I don't know where I am compared to the AI. I just have a setup that is quite balanced, actually very similar to the standard setup. I use 6 swings, but it looks fine, and I think after the practice session, or maybe after the qualifying session, I will straightly improve with the resource points available the aerodynamics of the car and the chassis, because I know that we have power, but we need to start the improvements as soon as possible. And as you could see, I completed all the practice programs. Some of them are green, some of them are purple. I couldn't do everything perfectly, but it was fine, and now we are on to the qualifying session. This will be the first time where I see where I am compared to AI, mainly compared to my main rival, the teammate Kimi Räikkönen, and this is the first time where we see what the game thinks are the power differences between the cars of the 2019 season. We see the Mercedes guys putting up the Pirelli tires, the 4mm thinner Pirelli tires that they will absolutely love in this season, probably in the virtual life as well, and we will head out to my qualifying lap. I think I will only show you the fastest lap of the session. So, let's start a lap with preparing for the first corner, being on the left side of the track and trying to use all of the track and trying to carry the maximum amount of speed. We use the ERS and I switch to overtake in 7th gear because I think it has a higher top speed like that. At least it worked like that in F1 2018. So, third corner was alright, fourth corner was alright, and I don't know what to say. We are at the end of the first sector and I think the car looks stable, but maybe a stable car is slower than it should be, so I will maybe do some more extreme setups in the next weekends, but I just want to start the season calmly. I'm in the second sector and so far I didn't make any mistake. I logged up a bit, but I didn't miss the apex, so it's alright until that. And I use all my track all the time, and I'm very gentle with the throttle, as these cars are extremely strong and you can lose the backhand very easily. Here the track is different compared to last year, and it's actually very realistic. The curbs are like that in real life, and I like how you can't go too wide, that you don't get a warning now, because there is grass and nobody wants to go too wide there. We are here in the last two corners. I hit the apex correctly. I had a little bit of a lock, but it doesn't matter. The way it comes off or lifts off from the inside front wheels, but we finished the lap. It's 1.4 seconds faster than my previous one, which was not a really good banker, and actually Jeff congratulated to me because I am P13 and I can't see Kimi Raikkonen in front of me. He is behind me with 3 positions and with like 0.3 of a second. So we, for the first time that we play the game, we instantly bet 110% teammate, at least in Melbourne, but you know, all of the tracks are different. Maybe on some other tracks AI will be extremely strong. Here I may exploit the track better than them because I use the curbs more aggressively and it gains me advantage, but yeah, it's always nice to start the season in front of your teammate. Carlos Sainz sits in the car. There was GD Limitless, and the Renault guys are also very happy because they know that this is a chance to score massive points, as they were very good in Melbourne in real life, but they were very unlucky. The graphics is beautiful of this game. I absolutely enjoy it, and all the changes that Codemasters made to this year, as far as I feel, they are in the right direction. But I hope we will be also in the right direction, because lights are out and away we go, and I have a very good start compared to Force India, but not good to anyone else. And I try to go around the outside, brake very late, but of course mind my front wing because Grosjean slowed down really much and I'm very close to him, but I can't overtake Stroll. I try to go on to the inside and dive very deep, but pay attention to the cars in front, and I overtook Stroll, and now I'm on the outside of Grosjean and I carry an amazing speed around the outside, and I actually managed to overtake 2 guys straight at the start. So from P13 I'm in P11 now. What I realized that in Slipstream the engine can overheat really quickly, so I will have to pay attention what mode do I set, and I'm not sure which is the best ERS usage in this game, which is the most efficient, but in the first few laps I will surely try to attack. I'm very close to Perez, but the Force India guys are always extremely fast in the straight, but I think I can brake later, and it was a very aggressive and a close move and a late direction change, but I actually managed to overtake the Mexican, and now even Grosjean attacks him because he had a very bad exit from that corner where I dived to the inside, and Grosjean in the straight tries to go best, and there is, I think, not Esteban Ocon because we miss him so much, but Stroll trying to attack, but it seems like Grosjean could win a position, and Stroll and Perez kept their position the same. I'm P10, so I have 1 point while my teammate has nothing, so I start the season great and I think my team is happy, and I try to chase down Nico Hülkenberg. As you could see, my engine overheated a bit. I used Mix 3 and it was already enough to overheat, and we can see a battle in front of Kevin Magnussen where the Red Bulls, I think it's Max Verstappen, trying to attack the Renault, who I guess had a better race start and therefore overtook the Red Bull, who had a better qualifying session. And it's Kevin Magnussen who lost a position against Gasly, who overtook him because Magnussen just didn't have the momentum on Max Verstappen as he needed to lift at one point, and Gasly broke very late on the inside of the turn and overtook Magnussen, so it wasn't the best positioning for the Danish, I don't know if there is a word like that, for the Danish driver. And I dive down the inside of Hülkenberg and I have position 9, and as you can see at the front, Gasly and Verstappen are battling with each other, and it seems like Verstappen has the upper hand, but Gasly performs really well, not like in real life, and he dives again to the inside of Verstappen. The Red Bulls are extremely aggressive with each other. They don't use any team orders, but why would they? It's the first part of the season, and Gasly passed Verstappen, and Verstappen is passed by Magnussen now as well, and I think Magnussen will go away because that Ferrari power advantage in the full throttle zone, and I also try to be extremely close to Magnussen to have the position, and I'm around the outside of Verstappen. I will try to push him a little bit of wide, and I'm in P8, so I have 4 points if I finish like that. It's amazing how good of a race start and the first stint we are having right now. I will try to chase down Magnussen, of course, as well. And look at the lead. I mean, not the lead because Hamilton is leading the race. Sebastian Vettel is second, and Valtteri Bottas with the faster Mercedes tries to attack the German 4-time world champion, but so far he just can't gain enough momentum in the straight. As you can see, I'm on the limit of the exit of this Ascari chicane, if I'm right. I hope this is the name of it. No, it's in Monza. I don't know what's the name of this chicane. Maybe it doesn't have any name. If you know, please write down in the comment section. I'm very close to Magnussen now, and I will open DRS, but I went a bit wide and I got track limit warning, and it's not so good, and Magnussen defends the inside line, so I have to choose to go around the outside. I brake early and prepare for a good exit, and I have a very good exit indeed. I can open DRS again. This is the second zone of the track, and I'm around the outside. I will try to brake as late as possible, and I turn in my car, and it turns in perfectly, and Magnussen just didn't have the aerodynamic power to outgain me on the inside line, which is dirtier than the outside was. I'm a P7, so it means 6 point in our first race, but of course the end is far away, and we can see that in third position Valtteri Bottas gains massively on Sebastian Vettel, and he is extremely close, and now Vettel needs to defend the inside, so probably Bottas will have a better exit from the first turn, and he opens DRS once again, and Vettel defends the inside again, and Bottas is around the outside just like me against Magnussen, but he can't go around. But next turn will be the inside for Bottas, and Vettel needs to back out because the track is not there, but he is still keeping the car in an impossible position, but Bottas could carry a massive momentum around the outside of these turns, and therefore he overtook the German 4-time world champion. And there is Charles Leclerc. We are sitting in his car, but he lifted off. Maybe Ferrari shot in his radio that no, you can't overtake Seb. We never know. But that was some exciting battle at the front, and it's Mercedes 1-2 again. What a surprise if we consider the real season that it's Mercedes 1-2. I am chasing Hülkenberg, by the way, and it's Sebastian Vettel who tries to attack back, and he is on the outside of Bottas because Bottas didn't pay attention. Maybe he just thought that the overtake is done and I don't have to pay attention again, and now he tries the same what Bottas did to him a few laps earlier, and Vettel gets back the position, and Leclerc is not there, and he's not out of the race, but he went to the pit. He went for an undercut, and I think Leclerc and maybe another few drivers will do a two-stop strategy this race. And Ricciardo is in front of me, not Hülkenberg, sorry I misspelled it. And Ricciardo goes into the pit as well, lap 7, while for me Jeff told that I should only pit at lap 11, so we are definitely going for a one-stop strategy, while the others surely go for a two-stop, because there is no tire what you can complete the race with if you pit this early. And Charles Leclerc tried the undercut, but he is in a massive traffic now. He is held up by one of the McLarens, which I don't see exactly who is he, but now he opens DRS and he is faster even without the slipstream. He goes, and Sebastian Vettel and Bottas out of the pit, but Leclerc just comes in front, and he is exactly happy now because the McLaren is behind him but still in front of his teammates. So Leclerc gained 2 positions with this move that he pit 1 or 2 laps earlier, and even in traffic tires are so much better that you could make the undercut work. It's very disadvantageous for me because I tend to do a one-stop strategy. I want to pit as late as possible, and there are seconds of difference between the tires, and now I'm attacked by Max Verstappen, who I overtook earlier, but now he is alive. Maybe the Red Bull is very good with the tires, and he is around the outside. I'm out of ears basically, and he can brake very late. I'm on the dirty line. I can't find the grip to exit the corner, and I lose the position, but I'm in the 3rd place of the race. But of course I will still need to pit, but only once. But I think Verstappen lap 10 is alright. I think the Red Bulls and maybe even Vettel will do the one-stop strategy. I'm not sure about Leclerc, and I'm not sure about the Mercedes, as they also pit earlier, and Lewis Hamilton nearly catched me, but I haven't even pit. So in 10 laps I already lost about 20 seconds to the leaders. So if we want to make Alfa Romeo a champion team in the game, we will need to work extremely hard, because it will be not an easy job to do. That's 100%. And I came back to P12. It's not good. Many cars overtook me. Many cars undercut me, and I'm behind Perez. And we can see meanwhile that the McLaren is still out on track, and they are attacked by the Mercedes and Ferrari, and Valtteri Bottas behind Sebastian Vettel tries to make a double overtake, and on the inside with actually the softest compound of tires, while Vettel is with the hardest compound, overtook Vettel. Bottas will surely need to go to the pit again, because he has a tire that is not even allowed to go to the end, because he used the exact same tire in the first stint, and you need to use two different tire compounds in the race, and Bottas is extremely fast because it's two compounds softer, and Leclerc tries to go to defend to the inside, but Bottas doesn't even care. He had a perfect exit from the last corner, he opened DRS and he passed Leclerc in the straight, and Bottas, Hamilton 1-2 again, as all the traffic went to the pit. But Bottas and Hamilton will need to pit again, as I didn't show, unfortunately I forgot to show, but even Hamilton had the softest compound of tires, so Mercedes will need to pull out a gap, and Mercedes will need to go into the pit again, and they will need to be very fast in the last stint and overtake many cars. And we see Sebastian Vettel trying to go to the inside of Charles Leclerc, and actually I thought the German makes the move then, but Leclerc tried to attack back from the outside, but now the German driver overtook the Monaco talent, who is extremely fast and was extremely fast in Bahrain, but we don't know what happens to him in the rest of the season. Vettel is P3 again. He can stand on to the podium if he finishes like that. We are in lap 18, and as you can see, I maintain the gap to Perez. I have only 1 or 2 laps fresher tires, and I'm just not faster in the second stint. In the first stint I was very good. In the traffic I positioned myself greatly, but in the second stint I'm just not fast enough, unfortunately, and Grosjean is behind me. He's out of DRS now, and I'm gaining on him like 2/10 a lap, or maybe 1/10. It's very close between us, but as you can see, the guys went to the pit in the main straight, and I forgot to mention, but I'm already P8, so I gained massive amount of positions, and it's 11 laps to go, and I had massive oversteer on the exit of the turn. I nearly hit the wall. It was actually a very nice correction, and what we can see now is that Hamilton and the Bottas actually made their second pit stop to put the middle compound of tires up to the car, and Vettel and Leclerc, so Ferrari 1-2 in this race, which is very interesting, and as it is rarely happening in real life. And we can see that Bottas overtakes Max Verstappen by ease, and Lewis Hamilton attacks Pierre Gasly as well. On the outside they have so much better grip on this fresher, and actually the same command of tires, but Lewis's tires are much fresher, so Lewis is P3, Bottas is P5 because he overtook Max Verstappen, but still behind Gasly, and Vettel and Leclerc is still leading the race 1-2, and I'm in lap 25. I have a very safe distance to Grosjean, but I just can't close to Perez no matter what I do. I thought I have a good tire wear throughout the whole weekend, but I just can't get close enough, and we can see the leaders again, and there you could see in the top of your screen just for a little moment, and here you can see that Hamilton is closing on the leaders massively, but he only have about 2 or 3 laps to go of the race, or not 2 or 3 laps, but maximum 5 laps, and there we can see the Renault guys, who were the guys who went into the pit for the second pit stop, who went into the pit in the first stint extremely earlier. They are behind me, but if you look at the map, they are within a safe distance, they will not be fast enough to catch me. Luckily, I have the right strategy for this race, but not surely, because once I was P6, so I don't know what happened to 2 positions. And we can see how Charles Leclerc tried to attack Sebastian Vettel, but Vettel covered the middle of the track and Leclerc just wasn't brave enough to attack, or maybe Ferrari shot at him again, and he needed to pull back behind Vettel, but now he has the dirty air and he is under attack by Lewis Hamilton, and they both open DRS, and Ferrari have a massive overspeed, but Lewis Hamilton is extremely close, so he has a slipstream advantage compared to Leclerc and tire advantage and everything, and now Leclerc needed to defend, so he compromised his exit, and Hamilton will try to go around the outside in turns 2 or 3, and he brakes very late, but more importantly, he carried a massive momentum in that right-hander, and Lewis Hamilton is in the 2nd place of the race. And there we can see Valtteri Bottas trying to overtake Pierre Gasly in P4, but he just can't make the move stick so far, and there are only really a few laps left of this race. Perez is still in front of me, 5 seconds, so the gap just expanded, and Grosjean is 4.4 seconds behind, so I shouldn't afraid of anything basically. My tires try to wear out. I am quite inconfident during braking. I locked up a few times, but I try to be very consistent, and I try to save fuel. I try to also save the engine for the rest of the season. And there we can see Lewis Hamilton, who tries to attack Sebastian Vettel, but he covers the inside line now, or not the inside, but the middle of the track, and the inside line, the very inside line, is extremely dirty, so Lewis Hamilton just couldn't make the move stick there. But now he is very close, and it's just a matter of time where he passes, but he needs to pass now, as there is only about 2 or 3 laps left of the race maximum, or maybe just only the last one. I can't feel the counter now, and Vettel covers the middle of the track, but Lewis goes to the inside very aggressively, and actually he needs to have a good exit now, but luckily he was still ahead when the DRS was sensed, and Vettel can't open the DRS and can't try to reactivate it, and can't overtake the 5 times world champion. So Lewis Hamilton took the lead of the race, and there we can see Valtteri Bottas trying to make a last lap move on Pierre Gasly. He is on the outside of the chicane section, but Gasly is very confident under braking and on the entry, and he manages to be ahead of Bottas, and this was the last lap, so Bottas is basically out of chance, and I actually got a time penalty in lap 2018, and I wanted to show you, but basically this is the race finish. Bottas still tries one last attack, but I don't think he's close enough, because the Red Bull has a massive amount of downforce. They are very good in the last sector, and they have extremely good exit out from the last corner, so even with Mercedes power advantage and opening DRS, Bottas just can't get close enough, and therefore he can't overtake Pierre Gasly. And what I showed last time, it was lap 2018, but now we are in lap 2019, and I think this was the last chance for Bottas available, and Lewis Hamilton crosses the line. He wins the Australian GP. Sebastian Vettel comes 2nd, Charles Leclerc finishes 3rd, and Gasly will finish in 4th position, and Valtteri Bottas will only finish in 5th. Max Verstappen is 6th, and Perez is 7th, but we are still not across the line, and if not anything happens, like no engine failure and no wall and crash like that, I'm in P8, which is a decent result for the first race of the season. Grosjean is P9, and there is another car in P10 that I don't know the name of. I am very happy about the first episode of this series. I hope you like it. I know my commentary must be funny, because I just have a weird accent, and I feel it, that I can't improvise that greatly as I can do in Hungarian, but I will surely improve, and I enjoy what I'm doing. I hope you enjoy the first part of this episode. I hope you leave the like button. I hope you don't say that I should shut up, or if you say that I should shut up, then I maybe will continue the series with no commentary. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section. We can celebrate the podium finishers, and I can congratulate to myself to do my first English career episode, and I really hope you enjoyed it, but I think I repeat myself over and over, so I think there is no more thing to do than just to say goodbye, and thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure to see you again. I hope you subscribe and like the video, and goodbye!